Welcome back to the day of Create SMP. Now, I know for the last few episodes, we've been building some farms to prepare for the mega base. There's something about that I have to confess. I don't want to build the ring anymore. I've got a different idea that I want to do instead. That doesn't mean we're going to abandon the ocean monument. I'm still going to finish that farm because I could always use glowstone or prismarine and all that stuff, and I can always sell it to everyone, but that is still under construction in the background. However, you may notice that we are not on the server right now. In fact, we're in a new creative world I made specifically for testing the new idea I have, which is I want to build a bunch of other islands with its own farm on it, orbiting the main island, kind of like, you know, just how the regular end works. And between them, I've put up chain conveyors for item transport and also player transport. I put some ceiling fans on the bottom to look like they were kind of, well, like they have a fan on the bottom holding them up. I did the same thing I did to design that thing. I made a circle with axiom here, cut it in half, and then I also used the rock tool up here to add these little bumps on the side like that. Everything is going to be connected up to the main island. I don't think we're going to have to worry about lag too much because it's not like the game's rendering anything else. I mean, we're in the void. The most it's going to render are these islands and some endermen. There's not much else to render, but I did extend this walkway because I'm going to have the walkways go to important areas like, say, power station, storage, and some mysterious other third thing. But this one is going to be the monorail station. I've put it over here because, if I remember correctly, in the server, this side of the house is facing the main island, so that's where we want the monorail station to be, so that it can get to the island without like going around in a circle or anything. We're going to start off today's video by building the monorail station. Now I'm going to do a similar palette to the main house, and let me just grab some of these. I want to kind of build the Black Mesa transit system from Half-Life, so basically the monorail from Half-Life 1's long ass intro. Now that doesn't really have, well, in the game at least, it doesn't really show an actual like full-on station other than just the platform you get off to actually enter the facility. So I might just build like an elevated train station pretty much. This bit here is going to be like a loop. We'll have it long ways that way so that the track can come in here, turn around, go through the station, stop here, come out, and then rejoin back onto the track and go that way. And because it's elevated, we're going to need some stairs first up. So maybe about here, have some endstone brick stairs. Yeah, that'll be high enough. Have some purple pillars, maybe like every 2 blocks. Yep, then we can do the stripped pale in between. Or actually, hold on, I have an idea. We get some copycat vertical slabs like that. Yeah, we go for railings. I think that's alright. I don't know, we'll come back to that. The side can be the same, but it's just a wall, so it goes all the way up. Alright, looking good so far. Besides these. Why does that actually look alright? I mean, I'm not going to complain. For the platform, let's go 3 over here. Start moving stuff to a 3-block gap, I think. And then maybe some brass bars in a copycat panel. Give it a bit of a royal kind of look. Yeah, now that makes me wonder, what about doing that here too? Yep, that's pretty nice. Okay, and now for the main platform, let's have it, it's gonna have to be 7 blocks long so we can account for the pillar as well. But now, there's something I can do with axiom where I can, that point there, and that point there to encase this area, right? And then I can scroll to just extend it as far as we need. So, oops, not that way. Say like over here. Okay, well no, that's not taking that. So if I take that point there, and then up here, will it? No. Yeah, I'm not really sure how this mod works. There's a clone option, isn't there? Okay, how about that? Yeah. So let's do that point there and there. And then, no, not that way. Clone it this way. There we go, that works. And now we can just keep doing that until it's big enough. That saved a lot of time. Train stations have the do not step over line or thing, right? So since it's the end, we could do crying obsidian and gold, maybe? Gold's been pretty good for us in the build so far. What about regular obsidian? Yeah, I like regular obsidian better. Build this up a bit. I want to have like kind of bar window things in through here so you can see out. Maybe just regular windows. What kind of windows we have? Crimson, warped, good old weathered iron, or just magenta. Definitely leaning more towards the crimson ones. Yeah, okay, let's do crimson. Isn't there a thing to replace? Yeah, there we go. Oh, I can hold it and it goes super fast. That's cool. Alright, I like it. I'm liking this so far. Maybe if you made these ones, not those two, but the rest of this wall, also slabs. I'm gonna do something about the front, but I think we'll just mirror that, but maybe like a block inwards. Okay, that's the outside kind of done. Okay, now for a roof. Something slanted or just maybe flat going over here. Maybe a little slanted going up to here, right? And then just flat over this way, which is where the monorail will hang. And then maybe we could have supports going into the side of the island there. Actually, let's map out how big the monorail is as well. So there's the step, and then 3 to fit inside. Okay, so that's the total width of the monorail. So here, I want that to be a full block. And then slabs there, and then more slabs going that way. Maybe if we have some industrial iron, and then maybe like a chute that goes out, and then chains. The occasional industrial iron. And then over here it starts to curve, and we get less chains. Or actually we could do chutes instead, so it's a little more like angled. Copycat stairs, securing it on. We've got copycat shafts here. Doesn't really make sense, because how is the chain holding this up? But, you know, it's the end, so don't think about it too hard. Now I guess let's just copy that over. Okay, I got a little zoned out and did more than the roof. So we've got this pattern that just kept going, and I made sure to extend it so that it would actually reach into the island. And then I finished off the roof, put in the endstone bricks like on that one over there, and I put some lights above where the train, the monorail is going to be. I also put some lighting over here with some end rods connected together by chains, some seats if you want to wait for the monorail, and then these are advanced display boards, which I don't know how they work, but you can apparently show what time it is or how long it takes for the monorail to get back, or where it is. So next up we actually need to build the monorail. I've got a photo of the Black Mesa transit system on my other monitor. I'll be using that as a reference. Put a photo up of it on the screen. Okay, so it looks like it's mostly iron, but iron's gonna be too bright for this. So I say we use andesite to make it. So I'm gonna start with andesite pillars because they look like corrugated sheets of metal. It's kind of angled on the corners. I'm gonna have stairs, a pillar, and then a 2-block gap. And then here will be where we step onto it over the gap, and then back to the stairs. That's the layout. On the image, I know it says it's got 4 windows, but that'll be too big, so we're just gonna go with 3. 2 technically, because one of them is actually the door, but you know, whatever. And then we'll go put copycat stairs on the top corner like that. For the door, I think we'll just do framed glass on this side. So that way it opens up like that. We can do stacks like that, and then the bottom one have andesite pillars, and then on top of them, framed glass. There we go. Interior, yeah, the interior. Oh wait, might be perfect actually, because it looks exactly like black tablecloth. I'm just gonna assume that it's also pillars on the bottom, and then copy the back of it. Realize I never actually switched these around. Let's put these tablecloths down for the carpet, going this way and that way. And for the seats, they're pretty similar colors, but I'm gonna go with just a blue seat. Then we'll put these same windows on the back of it, back and front, I guess, yeah. And now also for the roof, I think we could just do copycat panels with the andesite pillar. Now I might put a bit of lighting in, maybe just a frog lamp. These middle blocks here. For the driver, I'm actually just going to get a blaze burner. You don't actually need a mob in a seat, you can use a blaze burner, and that way you don't run the risk of the mob bugging out and despawning or getting killed or anything. So that should be the Black Mesa transit system finished. I'm going to copy it. How do I do that again? Clone. I'm going to take the first point there, and the second point there, and then clone it over this way. Confirm. Finish. Nice. Since it's gonna go out this way, this is the front one. I'm pretty sure we don't actually need a blaze burner in the back one, because it's not gonna go backwards, it's only gonna go in one direction. So let's glue these together, and then we can do the test to see if we can actually get this as a monorail. So now, because we don't have steam and rails, I don't think that has a full release on Create 6 yet. We're just going to use actual train tracks up here above it. And so the way train tracks work, when you're placing them, you place one down, select the point, and then you bring it over to the next block you want to place it on. And I've already put 2, and then it just fills in. And you can do that to build curves as well, which I'll show off in a second. Now we need to get train station, which is going to be let the train know where it needs to go. So we want it stopping there, or no, well, we want it to be in the middle, right? So if the bogey's going to be on that block, we want the train station to also be there. And we can just hide this underneath and do create new train, and see, now there's somewhere to put a bogey. And you might be thinking, but there's no such thing as a bogey block. Well, you actually just make a train casing and place it there, and that's deleted the roof, but that's fine. Now we gotta do some tricky building techniques to get like a cable car down here. I think we're gonna use a lot of copycat stuff, so let's get maybe some vertical steps and regular steps. Build it out of industrial line. Let's have a step there, and then a vertical one going down, and we could do copycat slab here, and then another one on top for that. So now they're connected. I'm gonna glue that down to there, and then this one right there. And now we gotta do the same on the other corners. Alright, now that was the first one, should be glued all together. Alright, now hopefully if we come down here and then assemble train, yeah, let's recognize the 2 bogies, and then just Black Mesa transit system. Doors are open, the blaze burner is turned on, and the train controls have gotten their controls. So now I'm going to build a little just test loop to make sure this goes fine. Get some spots for a curve for it to go out to. If we right click there, and then come over to the point we want it to turn to, it'll sketch out the turn. And then we can also hold control to curve it some more. then we right click and it places it for us. It'll use as much track as you have in your inventory to build it, and if you don't have enough it'll tell you. It's just a little mock of what we want it to do in the server. Okay, here's my test track. Ignore the end stone, that's just how I built scaffolding to get it out there. The first test, I'm going to drive this myself, so let's hop in the seat, take control, hit F5, and go forward. So all the doors closed. Let's see if we left anything behind. Nope. Got everything pretty perfect. See how this looks. We don't want it going too fast, so we limit the speed. It looks a bit weird because they're just floating, so we might glue together some chains or something, see what happens. Here we come into the station. All the doors open. Cool. Now the next test is to give this guy a schedule and have him make it over there on his own. So for that we're going to need another train station over on this end. Yeah, let's just put him under there. So this is called Stations 2, and we can name this one Station 1. And another thing I think we're going to need is a train signal, just so that it doesn't go the wrong way when it turns. So this track can only go that way, and then that one can only go that way. I think that'll make it so that the train can't go in through that way, I think. I'm not too sure how train signals work, but as long as the arrow is pointing the right way, it'll tell the train which way it can and can't go. But we're gonna have to just wait and see. So let's get a train schedule. For this we're gonna add an action, which is travel to station 2. Wait, let's go wait 10 seconds so that it, just pretend that it's picking some players up. And then travel to station 1. Again, wait 10 seconds. And then just loop forever. So let's hop onto our train here, get in the seat, and give this guy the schedule. And I'm not driving it, the blaze burner is. So let's see, does he go right, which is the way he's supposed to go? He does, cool. Now he's gonna stop up here. Yep, and wait 10 seconds. And then off he goes again. Okay, cool. So let's take that off him because he doesn't need it right now. Let's also disassemble the train so that we can take this whole island and turn it into a schematic. I'm going to get rid of that there and this end stone that's in the way, we don't need it. So I'm going to grab a schematic of all these islands, not including the farms because those I just placed them down to measure how big the islands actually need to be, and then we can get to work placing them in the actual server. Okay, so this is the monorail station, and the end island 1, end island 2, end island 3, end island 4, and end island 5. Now we're obviously not gonna have only just 5 islands around the place, so I think I'll probably reuse those schematics as we build more farms around the house. But either way, it's time to get in the server, build a pretty efficient endstone farm, and then place these islands around the place and get our farms moved over there. And I guess one for the storage and power plant as well. Prismarine update, the monument is gone and the guardians are confused. Okay, that's all. Bye. Alright, the first external island is in. I made this one first because we are going to build our endstone farm on it, and I've got materials here. I didn't do any counting, I just guessed, so hopefully this is enough for what we need. Let's start with the collection vault. That should be big enough for what we need. Over here, if we just put in a funnel going in, get ourselves a filter to accept only endstone, then we can just have that there. We'll have a dragon head there with a fan blowing in behind it. Now that's going to end all of the cobblestone into endstone into the vault. We need a smaller buffer vault for the cobblestone. It only needs to be 4 long because that's how many drills we're going to have. So let's put our chutes up here. Just get some temporary blocks for now. And then a line of drills on top. Now let's get some leaves. So on this side I'm going to have the leaves. Excuse me. And then on this side, we're gonna put some temporary blocks and surround them by trapdoors. And put in some lava. Over here I'm just gonna make a little infinite water source, which we will use to waterlog the leaves. And now we can get rid of this dirt. And it's turned into lava. And now over here, we'll have a chute coming out to exactly 64. So we want a stack of endstone being produced at once. And now, besides from powering this, that's all we need. That's a pretty simple endstone farm, and that should generate us enough endstone for now. Eventually we're gonna upgrade it and make it bigger, but for now that's all we need. I just need to power this. Okay, first let's make 6 chain drives. 2 there. Oh, actually we're gonna need another one. Make that 7 chain drives. Then come up here, place a row on top of these, bring some shafts down, and then make myself a vertical gearbox. Everything's connected up, easy as that. Now to power this, I'm actually gonna bring over some power from the workshop because I'm pretty confident that those 5 windmills inside the island will be able to power this farm. So I'm going to put a chain conveyor over there because I forgot to bring girders. Just make a temporary pole about here. Put another chain drive on there. Connect them up with some actual chains. And then here comes the scary part. Going down here, placing another chain conveyor. Let's say right here. And then like we decided in the creative world, I'm going to put a ceiling fan there so it looks like it's floating. And then get more chains connected up to this one. I'm going to start a chain there, right there, put another chain conveyor. Ooh, those can connect. And then should just be able to connect this up over here. Yep, no stress. Is it going the right way? No, that's alright. We just need to get over there and put in another gearbox. There we go, now those are ending. Did you see that? And it goes, when this refreshes, it should say endstone, hell yeah. So now I just need to tidy this place up and then get some packages. Well, they're not going to be connected because I haven't set up a network for that yet, but anyway, still. And now, a bit of a scary test, but oh. Okay, that's terrifying, but awesome. We have a cool way to get over the void. Just gotta make sure you don't accidentally press shift and fall into it. Now, as soon as I have an actual storage system set up, I'll be able to connect this and have it be able to send endstone to the house. But until then, I'm probably just going to use a depot and a grass funnel to get everything out. Because there's another island over there I want to build, and I'm probably going to put the storage on it. And to build that island, I need almost 7,000 endstone. So I guess I'm going to wait around a little bit. And now we should have all the endstone we need. Do we have enough gunpowder? Yeah. So we start recording the replay, and I guess we can start printing this island out. Second island is done. I think we're gonna put a storage building on this, but first I need to finish this bridge, so we're gonna go build that next. Alright, over on this island, I've got a shulker box full of a bunch of vaults. So we're going to make a bunch of max size ones and see how many we can fit on here. Hopefully 6. Okay, nice, 6 vaults. Next up, I'm going to put some packages on each one. And then I'm going to save these stocklinks for last. Also going to build up some weird structural stuff, I guess, just to hold the vaults all together and make it look nice. At just the perfect amount. Over in the house, I'm also going to put in our storage system. I'm going to put it upstairs this time so it's easier to access and then get into the workshop and stuff. So let's put a blaze burner and a stock ticker. And then tune these stock links and put them all on these packages. And in front of these packages, I'm going to put a line of belts, or just a single belt line, actually. Power this, I'm just going to put chain conveyor up here, and we'll have the line going into a frog port, which actually I need to link up to there. That can be my storage. And that only sends packages. Put some packages on the back this time. But these ones are going to be powered on. They're not going to be connected up to the actual network. And that's because they're just going to unpackage anything that comes into them, which will come along on a belt that I have yet to place down. Get a chain conveyor up there. Connect him over here. And then another one here, which we will also connect up. So over here, connect a frog port, which this one is the input. Then over here, we're just going to put some funnels so those can come out and go into the frog port there. Okay, I'm going to build up these power lines across the bridge, and then we should have everything up and running. Oh, boom, everything's connected up and going the wrong way. Okay, now everything is settled and going the right way. All I need to do is build the actual input system and output back at the house. So I think I'm actually going to put a chain drive right in the roof here. Have it connect to the one outside on that part of the house. So if I grab that there, then connect it there. Cool, alright. Here I'm going to have a shulker box, which will be the input. I'll put some signs there later. And then another shulker box, which will be the output. Right now they're each going to need both their own packages. Will need to be powered. We'll just work on the output one first. I mean input. So this is going to put things right there. Call this storage input 1. Okay, I've gone ahead and named that other frog port storage input 2. So we're just going to put that same address on this packager here. So anything that comes in there should go to the storage. And now I'm just going to test that really quickly with this lever. Go free cam and follow it. Why did that come back out? Okay, it's been a few days since that last clip, and I didn't realize until like 3 AM when I was trying to sleep that you don't actually need packages to be powered to just like unpackage something into an inventory, and that's the entire reason they were like, the packages were going in and then they were taking them right back out. But before I realized that, I for some reason decided to redesign this entire thing with the same solution I used for the bread input back at the main base, where the packager gets put into a chute, packaged into a chest, and then another chute goes down into the inventory. I don't need all that. I'm pretty sure the first design I had where it just comes on along a belt and then gets put into packages, I'm pretty sure that would have worked anyway. As long as they weren't powered, they would have just been pulled in to the packages and then put in the vault. And then I think I could have also done the same thing at the house for the delivering items over to it. I'll sort all this stuff off camera. That's going to be where we end it today. This video is getting kind of long, and if I went ahead and built the other stuff I want to build, like the train station and the power station, this video would be like an hour and a half long, and it would never come out. That's definitely what we're going to do the next video. I'm going to start with building the power station, probably over in that direction behind me, and then we'll get the train station right after it. Hope you liked the video. If you do, make sure to go check out the other members, because we got some new people in there uploading as well. Should have some more coming out around the same time as this one. And I'll see you next time.